Welcome to ATB-TV. I'm Darren Dance here with Peter Morganti at Manningtree Park on this very pleasant Friday morning, Pete.
Yeah, generally here in the evening, Darren, but it's around 10 o'clock Friday morning.
Yes.
Yeah, a bit dull, but it's meant to break out to a reasonable day, so...
Hopefully the hot days of summer are past us.
Seem to be, generally, don't they? I mean, we've had a couple of... I think it was a bit sort of more muggy weekend just gone, but forecast is for 25s and 27s over the next week, so I'll take that.
You know what my forecast is?
No.
Plenty of winners.
Yeah, well, be nice. We've got a few coming through. We had a reasonable week just gone by.
Yeah, well, let's roll back to Wednesday. You went for a little drive up to Stall.
Yes.
And
I was
to watch Jack Hill.
Yeah, I was crowing at the 50. Maybe that's what stopped her. A little astrological. She did all the work in the race and was just tired the last 25. She got beaten ahead by 33 to 1 chance.
Yeah, she ran well. That's 2 runs in for 2 seconds, and I think our old mate down at Warrnambool, Daniel Bowman, it was his horse that gave her a bit of a hip and shoulder in the straight and probably cost her a bit of momentum, which probably cost her getting beat just that little head. But you know, from a filly that was going nowhere last prep, she's come back, she's matured, and she's racing well, and I think there's a bit of upside to her.
Yeah.
And won't be long before Astrological is in the winner's circle.
It's always good when they can put 2 runs together like that. So Jack, he was very shattered actually.
He was very disappointed. He rang me Tuesday night, and he was just very frustrated.
Yeah. But anyway, he didn't do much wrong. I suppose it's critical. It shows you barrier 8 and barrier 1 or 2. It's the difference between win and lose in some of those tracks.
I thought it was a bit harsh you saying a good jockey would have won on it.
Do you watch this, Jack? Anyway, that was my day. You ventured to Bendigo, where we had 2 horses run very well. We'll start with Stringer Bell before we go to the winner.
Yep.
And he's found a bit of form that we've been waiting to see. Yeah,
well, Darren, we said all prep that 3rd or 4th up, you would start to see the best of him. He put in a couple of fair, ordinary runs, I'd say. Last prep, he was pretty ordinary. And
we'll call them fitness runs now, Darren.
Yeah, well, last prep, we're going to say goodbye to him. And anyway, Darren Weir said that, you know, for a horse that won 4 out of his first 9, he's got a bit of ability, and he just wasn't right. So a good break and training up on the sand at Darren's farm. And look, I hadn't seen him until Wednesday since he left here, and I couldn't believe how well he looked. And what I was really impressed by was the way he was walking out in the parade yard and just the way he was carrying his back feet through. I haven't seen him do that for a long time, which tells me he's 100% sound. And he raced like he looked, and ran second. And you know, he was probably a little bit unlucky. Brad was a little bit hard on himself, saying that if he sort of let the leader have it easy, but he didn't want to make it a 2-horse war and set it up for the swoopers. So he was kind of damned if he did and damned if he didn't. But look, the horse got beat a length and a quarter. It was quite a good run. The horse, Brad said, the horse felt terrific, and you know, next start he's probably going to start favourite.
Yeah, exactly. Brad back on him. He's got a good connection with the horse. Sometimes you sort of forget.
He's our man at the moment.
Some jocks go well, roll well. Some horses.
Brad's our man at the minute. He's riding well.
Exactly. The highlight of the day was the little filly Shadow Griffo getting her maiden out of the road, which is great for her breeding page going forward. But I think it's just satisfactory just to get the win, isn't it? Like,
yeah, well, obviously, you know, when you run 3rd in a Blue Diamond Preview as a 2-year-old, you think you got the whole world in front of you, but she's not the soundest filly in the yard, and Robbie Griffiths has done a good job with her. He gave her the time she needed, and she's come back and he's training her completely different. She's actually doing quite a bit of sand work herself down there at Cranbourne. And, you know, I saw her trial last week and she was awesome, and she raced like it. And just on the corner there, the saddle moved, and Ryan was in a bit of trouble, but he got balanced up and got the job done. So she only really had an easy run. And she's ticked off that winner now, so next start with her will be to try and win some sort of midweek city race as we kind of build her broodmare value. And she'll most likely go through the May Gold Coast Mare Sale, and we'll look for another one.
That's the 3rd of the 3 boxes we need to tick. Bit of listed type, bit of black type.
City win and bit of black type.
Beautiful.
So, no, that was a good win, and congratulations to all the owners. You know, well deserved, and yeah, she's a pretty valuable filly.
Yep. Excellent. We both ventured down to Terang yesterday, hoping that Fox Largo could come off an even Sandown run, but look, she was just playing again, Darren. She heads to the paddock after finishing 5th.
Yeah, she was really flat. I think Kamani had the race stitched up. He quinelled it, didn't he? He had two horses that were heavily backed and both favourites. One won by 5, an import. Fox Largo went from 7s to 18s in the betting, so there was no hope.
There's only 2 horses under double figures with both the Kamani's.
So look, at the end of the day, she had 2 runs where she ran on very, very hot days, 40 degrees. And it's not just a run, it's a 3-hour trip to the track, and I believe that's flattened her.
Yeah.
She's probably come to the end. She won first up at Hamilton this prep at her very first start, and sometimes you think they go on with it, but she's probably had enough. She looked pretty flat in the run. She looked pretty tucked up after the race, and we'll go and get her after we finish this, Pete.
Yep.
And she'll be in the paddock by 3 o'clock and have a good 6-week break, and then we'll set her up for the spring. But she's a nice mare, and she's a nice staying type, and the breed get better with age. So at this stage, she's probably showing more than High Largo and Falago showed.
Sometimes, yeah.
And there's a bit to look forward to there.
Yep.
Also on the day, Pete, we gave away a share and a horse down at the Terang Club. They had a fundraiser for prostate cancer, and they had a good turn up there. Leon Corstens and Dennis Napthine were the speakers.
Yeah, yep, guest speakers.
And,
we rolled in late.
We got there as soon as we could, and there was a good crowd and a good bunch of people there. So we're happy to support that cause, and we're very happy to support Terang because we trial a lot of horses there. They're always good to us and our owners on race day, whether we win or not. We always get invited into the winners' room. And Wayne Johnson and the team down there do a great job. So it was good to be part of yesterday, and congratulations to the boys that won.
5 young fellas.
That they didn't win it. They bid up on it.
Bid up on it, yeah.
But the whole proceeds, it was a $3,000 share. We donated it, and I think what they get, 4.5,
43.50 or something like that.
About $4.5 and then
there was some good honest bidders. There
was a bit of
3 or 4 in there bidding
having a go. So it's good. So it's good to be part of that, and hopefully that filly can. Win a race at Terang, or better still, win a race at Flemington.
They'd be loving Flemington, but I reckon they'd be pretty happy to see it spin around at Terang too. It was a good group of young boys. Yeah, excellent, yeah.
So that's our runners.
Yes.
And now we look at the week coming forward.
Yeah.
So Pete, we start this afternoon.
Biggest contingency is Friday of our 4. We've got 3 today.
That'll be today. Friday.
That's today. It's Friday. I realise that.
That's very good.
We have Swan Hill, where we've got Bloodlet in a 2100 metre benchmark 58.
What price?
270. I had a quick look.
Who's riding it?
We clicked with the jockey that's won on it, D. Yendall.
What happened to Mott? You sacked him?
No, you did early. I think he must be at the Valley because he's not up there. But Dean's on. 8 in the race. Nice gate. Big track.
Don't tip it, please.
No, I'll just say it. Opposed to Kyneton, small, tight track. It's got to suit to the big track, and look, Dean knows that he's been on us. So
she can't win this. She won't win another race, Pete.
I would agree with that.
Can't win this. Can't
unless
win
we go to 2-1, Towong. No. So look, she's obviously the market says she's a good chance.
She's ready to win. She should have won last start, and it was not a good ride, I'll say. Not a inspired piece of riding, Pete.
No, look, got caught up in the Melbourne traffic, Darren.
Yes, I sent you down there to give the instructions. What were they? Get 3 back on the fence and stay there to the 50?
Actually, I simplified it. I just said just win.
You probably said good luck.
That's race 7, her race. The race after, we've got a...
Revolutionary.
Yeah, and...
what price is he, Pete?
I've seen $34 at one stage. There's 13s now.
13s?
Don't be fooled by trial form. No.
Look, he won that trial by how far?
For 10 lengths.
10 lengths.
It's funny, at the day, that sort of straight after.
Someone said that you didn't video that horse in the trial.
No, I did video it. I said to Weary, I said, Revolutionary? Oh, they were slow behind. They're only just... Yesterday, it's a bit of a turnaround. I said, what about the 2 at Swan Hill? Bloodlet should win, that's the race. Yeah, that's our race. Revolutionary. Trialled like machine the other day, and I thought, he's turned around now, so I don't know.
Trial like a machine.
Trial like a machine.
I've seen a few machines. They don't go very fast.
Look.
Trial like a grader or a bulldozer.
I had a quick look. There's a couple there that got a bit of city form, but I think he's there to run well.
Who's riding him?
Dean. Right. All we want to see is him hitting the line.
I reckon he's a wet tracker.
Yeah.
But I'll be pleased if he runs well.
Yeah. Push it forward to a mile.
I reckon he's a wet tracker. Yep. But anyway, he's trialled well on the wet.
we'll see
Flying
how
is
all
probably a good 3, so we'll see what happens.
see how it all matches up. Tonight, Darren, you're going to go to the Valley.
Mooney Valley.
Perugia.
Yep.
Up in class in terms of the open grade. It's a benchmark 70.
He won a 70.
Yeah, but it was only a 3-year-old 70.
What's wrong with that? 3-year-olds are better than the open horses.
Well,
Didn't the horse who run second come out and win a Group 2?
Yeah, in a 3-year-old race.
Yeah. What, you don't rate that form?
Oh, not
You
really.
don't rate Group 2 form now?
Not that day.
Oh, okay.
On a bloody leader bias track that was wet and carved up and nothing could make ground from behind.
Okay.
I don't. Mooney Valley form and Caulfield form to me doesn't. It's a bit different.
You're a big rap on stall form, though.
Thing with Perugia, he's a good.
What price is he?
460, I think I say.
Is he?
420.
I thought he would have been shorter than that.
He races well at the Valley, so you know.
Has done.
Yeah, and he's drawn a little sticky.
I reckon he'll shorten right up because I think as soon as the punters sit down and look at the form and say, right, he won at Mooney Valley, the horse that ran second, came out and won a Group 2 at Caulfield on Blue Diamond Day.
They'll punt.
There's no way he can stay 460.
No. The only thing is...
I thought he'd be a $3 in the betting. Whether he's a $3 chance, but I'm not saying that. I'm just saying from a punting perspective,
they'll
I
look
think
at it.
that's what he'll be. He had all the favours when he won at the Valley. The second horse
Hadn't raced
had
for
all
2
the
months.
favours at the Blue Diamond Day where it was the leader's track.
Okay.
We were in that race, but we scratched because we drew 14, and we knew it was a leader-dominated track, and we didn't want to flatten the horse. From 14 you couldn't win, and throughout the day nothing made ground all day. So we were disappointed not to run the Group 2, but the right thing to do by the horse.
Oh, for sure.
So we have a week off, we load up tonight, and if we happen to win tonight, there's a very nice race called the Mornington Guineas coming up in a couple of weeks, worth a lot of money,
Perfect. Yeah.
but he'd have to win tonight.
Yep, where he said he's trained on, he couldn't be in better order, and his
Couldn't be in better.
only concern was the gate, but he said that just means you roll forward and put the horse on the race.
Who rides?
Brad,
Brad real well.
who's won on him and knows him well, and as you said before, riding real well, generally.
Yeah, let's not wrap him up too much.
That'll do. Leave it at that.
Anyway, he's got to be a good each way too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, yep, he'll run well.
Now, Brisbane tomorrow.
Yeah, we've got She's Our Star in the 1100 metre. It's a big field.
Now, you've nicknamed her She's Our Gunner.
Oh.
Is that right? Come on, tell them what you said off air.
First for me.
What do you
It's
think?
too early in the morning to be thinking like that, Darren.
Shock and roll last time.
Look, we just...
Poor tactics.
I think I said she should have trialled again. Well, she basically just did.
Well, it was a trial.
Yeah.
But you
Look,
gave it no hope.
this is a strong little field without dissecting the form, but gee, she's got good form in her own right.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
So,
you'd think if she gets the right run, it's a bit of a wide gate, but
8 or 9.
if they try to drive forward and go lead, then she's no hope.
Well,
But if they settle and put her in a comfort zone and let her hit the line,
Yep.
she's right in this. What price is she?
I haven't looked down.
Really?
No, she'd be an $8 or $10 chance, would she?
You don't take much notice or interest in Queensland?
Well, they don't
That's-
put the struggle to get Victorian odds up.
Well, while you're talking amongst yourselves, I'll just check the odds.
I reckon this is a perfect. You get these big fields. There's always speed. And this is from gate 8.
As long
Is perfect opportunity for him just to sit behind.
TAB app's working well at the
Yeah.
moment. Like, not at all.
So
Maybe I should get a Ladbrokes one.
yeah. Guy, I think he fixes up with some internet first.
No good.
No, look,
no,
but-
she'll be a $6 chance in that.
Yeah.
She'd be an each way. I
Burn-
think Tony's pretty happy with the way she's going.
Burn stays on. Well, he's got a.
There's not many riders up there, Pete.
It's called Redemption Day tomorrow, isn't it?
Last chance.
So that's all our runners, Darren, that we know, obviously.
We got runners next week, Pete.
No, we will have. I mean, that have finalised
Well,
fields.
they had acceptances, but we got heaps of runners next week.
Yeah, we will have a few of them.
Tuesday, where we going?
We've got the old Black Eye, my shiny choice. We've got over the Black Eye.
I hope so.
Either Bendigo or it's Bendigo Tuesday.
So if you don't know what happened there at Ballarat, the shoe come off a horse and hit him in the head and cut his face, but he's over that now.
Yep.
He might be a bit timid in the race, Pete.
Oh,
I would be.
We might be better off
You
going.
played a lot of footy. What happened when you got punched in the face? You probably didn't go near the ball for the rest of the day, did you?
No, just punch the bloke back.
Oh, you're punching.
No,
You're punching.
no.
I don't know if you and I'd play many games these days. We'd be. I don't know if they red card them.
Just
but
play
we'd be-
grounds where there's no cameras, Darren.
We get 6 weeks every week.
Actually, I took the young bloke.
Because when
down
you're
the
big and
footy.
slow, you got to hit them.
I took the bloke at the footy at Icon Park or the old Princess Park Tuesday. and I thought, this is AFL footy. I couldn't see across the other side of the ground. It was that dark.
Really?
Yeah, they need lights there. It was actually come up as a bit of a point of health and safety, but maybe that's why Carlton won, because they couldn't see it. Yeah. My shiny choice, we might be better off going to Bendigo on that, because if we go back to Ballarat, he might have bad memories. But there's two options.
Yeah, it'd be nice if he... he's got to bounce back. Is that your phone ring?
Yeah, it is. They should know that we're in the middle of filming.
Righto.
So either Bendigo or Ballarat Wednesday for him. We've also got now Rocket Cot.
Yep.
Josh is nominated for Kyneton and Ballarat on Tuesday. I've booked Brad Ruilla for Wednesday at Ballarat Wednesday. So I think that's the way he'll go.
Right.
So he's ready to run well.
He's trialled up well.
Yeah.
Brad, what's his name? The trainer?
Josh Jewellers.
Yeah.
Brad
Where's
Jewellers.
he from? Bendigo.
Bendigo, yeah.
So he's pretty happy with that horse.
Yeah, we've got to be mindful. Like, that's the midweek meet, so the maiden will be strong. There's a bit of form there, but I mean, he's raced in reasonable races before, so obviously we know that he's probably going to be a horse that will be better when we get to a mile. But I think
you've told him if he doesn't win it with it in the first two starts, you're going to take it off him.
Yeah.
Is that what you told him?
Yeah, told him. Yeah. Also, I see Sean Matherick. I tried to get a message. He's nominated her for a benchmark 58, not only a 58, but a fillies and mares only at Kyneton.
Well, that'd be a nice race, right?
Yeah, so that might be a better trip than going to, where are we going? Middle of Australia, Toowong or wherever. So,
mate, I've never heard of that track.
So I'll touch base with Sean there, but she's a chance to run on that day as well. Yep. So I think Kyneton must be the early start and Ballarat the twilight.
Right. What are you doing with Connery?
Connery's in at Ballarat over a mile and blinkers on.
When?
It's Wednesday.
Oh, well, we could have a good day at Ballarat.
Have a couple running there, Darren. We'll have to get the multis going. Get Ladbrakes to give us a boost on our multis.
No, there's no hope.
No hope. Look, if the blinkers sharpen him up, surely.
If he rode him if Jordan rides him like he rode that thing in the Blue Diamond, he'll be winning, won't he?
Surely. He's Group 1 jockey now, so he's improved since the last.
Pretty good, isn't it? Yeah. Well done, Jordan.
No, that is a great result. Yeah. So, we'll have some nice runners. That's all I know up to
we've got a fistful of runners next week, Pete. Yeah. A couple of tidy chances amongst them. And a couple there probably racing for their future, I'd reckon.
Eventually, yeah.
There's a couple there that, they'd want to...
These preps...
They want to step up. They want to show us they're going to run. A couple first up,
Yeah.
There's probably a couple there first up that, they'd want to start to show they're going to pay their way.
Yep. You're only as good as your last start, Darren, aren't you, in this game?
In this game, yeah. So that's all right.
So I can't remember if it's 22 or 24 winners.
Ticking
Shadow Griffo, so...
Ticking along.
A couple of placements, boosts everything. Percentages look better on the website.
Oh, well, if we can just... keep these horses in good form, and there's plenty of them at trial stage.
Yeah, there's an influx coming through. Think Babe trialled well during the week. Yogi...
he can't win before April.
No, just trying to work out whether he's a Colac on Monday or not. Anyway, they're all coming through the system. Periscope trial well the other day, so there's
probably half a dozen there.
Half a dozen coming through.
Not far away from being first up.
Obviously, Griffo's got his team down there.
As fast as I send them to the bloody Cranbourne stables, he sends them home. The trucks are passing on the freeway, Pete.
Conveyor belt.
Does he know these are racehorses? You got to race them.
He's looking after them, just keeping them tidy. You got to
winter up. It's like childcare, Pete.
You got to winter up there during the week.
I think Griffo's got these horses in childcare. Hey?
Speaking of childcare and youngsters, we've got the sales coming up, Darren.
Yes, that's Sunday.
Yeah,
the team's down there. Been down there since Monday with all the yearlings for Melbourne Premier. There's 12, I think.
Yep, been well received from what we're hearing.
Yeah, the reports back from Tom each night are good. I'm glad it's him, not me. He was here last night at 9 o'clock.
Was he?
Getting a load of feed. And he said he was leaving, where they're staying in Melbourne, they were leaving at 4:30 a.m. Had to have all the horses exercised, boxes done, shampooed, washed, dried, ready to parade by 9.
So every day? Every
day. And then from 9 till about 4:30 they parade. So
I should be down. This is good fitness. Parade them.
We needed an extra one, so we sent young Aiden down, who works here at the farm.
Yeah.
He said he's never walked so far in his life. But just to give you a guide, there's 12 horses down there, and in the first 3 days, each horse was pulled out of the box and inspected over those 3 days 80 times. So 80 individual people got him out,
Combined over the 3 each.
stood him up, had him walked, and inspected him and made notes on him. So it was 20, 20 and 40.
Big
Tom
thing.
was expecting maybe 50 parades today,
Yep.
and then on Saturday maybe only 25.
And then the sales.
And then the sale starts, and then it'll be chaos, he said.
People pulling it, wanting them here.
So we've got one going through Sunday, the Deep Field Queen of Quilts, lovely colt. And then we've got 3 going through on Monday.
Yep.
And then we've got a big day
Big day
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Basically the whole draft goes through, the rest of the draft goes through on Tuesday. And then it'll be all over by 5:30.
With smiles on our faces.
Well, I hope so.
hopefully,
I just hope they sell well. But looking at them, Tom couldn't have them looking any better. Their skins are amazing, and they're really good size. They've settled in good. They're walking good. They're eating good. And I was down there yesterday dropping a few things off, and just looking at our horses walk around, you can be a bit biased.
Yeah.
But certainly to my eye, they looked big and strong and really shining the coat compared to some of the other horses that were in the barn next door on either side.
Yep.
They looked like they were 6 months younger
Righto.
and didn't have the polish. So
Yep.
whether that translates into the sales ring, I don't know, but we'll find out next week. And as you know, this is our first draft into the sales with the breeding program, so it'll be interesting to see how we end up. But all the sales have been strong. They buy the right size, their x-rays are good, their confirmation's good. We've left no stone unturned, so we should get a good result.
I was listening to Mick Price on Michael Felgate's based out there doing RSN this week, and Mick Price said that it's the best value sale in Australia, but he said today this sale from what he's looked at, so with the way the price has been up with all the other sales, he expects the same. He said the drafts are strong. There's some fabulous horses out there. Mick's more. He said, I'll get a horse, and I couldn't tell you what the family is on the other side because he buys for the horse type, and he said there's some great types out there, so he expects the sale to be strong. So let's hope.
When I'm a buyer, I like going to value sales.
Yep.
But when I'm a seller,
I
want to be dear and poison.
Yeah. But he said,
so I had to change my hat.
yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
So one day you're buying and you want them cheap, and the next day you're selling and you want to get the earth.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
it's a strange feeling being a seller
different, yeah,
rather than a buyer. We still will buy some yearlings, not at this sale, but we will buy some after this sale, later on.
yeah.
Still got all our homebreds to get rid of first.
Yeah, well, they're a couple of tickling down
Only
to the
got
last 20.
three shares left now. 3 horses left.
3 horses.
And only about a quarter in each.
25 and a couple of 30 and others. So they're down towards. So if you're thinking,
They've all been
hold
broken.
off, yeah.
They've all been broken in. They've all been pre-trained. And, well, the colts have, and they're all coming home today. Actually,
Having a spell,
about lunchtime.
So what, do you give them 4 to 6 weeks? Just depends.
They'll have a solid 8 weeks.
Solid, because they actually had it.
They've been gone for
Yeah.
2 months.
Yeah.
So they need 2 months off now. So it'll make it a lot easier. I find that when you break them in and pre-train them, they come home, they really furnish.
Yeah.
And it's because they've done that work, it kind of...
I think Robbie got the word, stimulates their growth.
Yeah, it just stimulates them all over and turns them into horses.
Well, they're coming home at a great time too. They're going to have some good weather for the next...
Well, they've been out of the heat.
Weeks,
They've sort of been out of the heat here, and they get home now for the best part of the autumn, if we get an autumn.
Yep.
And when it turns cold into the winter, that's when they'll be going back in to do something.
Pushing back in to do
hopefully
something.
They haven't been out for the hot part of the summer, and they won't be out for the cold part of the winter. It's not a bad program.
And the timing's nicely, if they are up and about early enough, well, you work into whatever 2-year-old race.
Well, there'll be a couple there I'm sure will race by Christmas.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you haven't bought, you better not hang about.
No.
Anyway, that's about it for the week. So we'll probably...
We might get a trainer's interview next week.
Well, I know you haven't done much. You're supposed to do Daniel Bowman. Oh, well, they're all busy with racing and the sales.
We'll get them next week.
But I'm sure while you're down at the sales, you might be able to get a bit of footage.
We will.
We might just follow one horse through.
Process through.
Yeah, just follow one horse through the auction, just to give you a look at what goes on from the... we might just get some footage of different people parading it, inspecting it, and then what happens in the pre-parade ring, and then what happens in the major ring.
Yep.
And then,
good idea.
If it's someone buys one that we know well, we might even do a little interview with them and ask them what it was they liked about that particular horse.
Probably a good idea. We'll give the trainers a flick for another week, and it might be a trainer.
We just might focus a little bit on the sales.
And we can pop that on the end of next week's vision. And
yeah, there's a lot to it, but typically, just in summary, what happens there is they go and look at every horse. Typically, the big boys go and look at every horse, so, and the bloodstock agents would look at every horse on the complex. And typically what they do is there's 700 there, and they would then narrow it down to a shorter list.
Yep.
And look, depending on the trainer or the bloodstock agent, they might end up with 60, or they might end up with 100 out of the 700 on their list. It's a process of elimination. And then they know, you know, some trainers love long rows, some hate so you think. Depends if they've had a slow one in the yard, you know, because we all get wounded by it.
Price made that point.
Yep.
He said, if I've had two from the one side, I've had bad luck. I just steer clear.
Yeah. And there's some trainers that don't like Fastnet Rock because they've had 10 and done nothing.
Yeah.
Then you get someone like David Hayes who loves Fastnet Rock.
Exactly.
So everyone's got their preferences, and the other thing is you have to have a commercial aspect, because there's no point buying a beautiful, lovely horse if it's by a sire that you're not going to be able to sell. Yeah. So trainers have to watch the fashion and the commercial aspect of it, and then of course it comes down to budget. So, you know, if you're going to buy 10 horses at this sale and you've got $1 million to spend, you're probably going to buy one for 300, half a dozen around the 100 mark, and then try and get a couple of cheapies. So everyone's got a budget. So it's just interesting. And then what happens is when you get your final shortlist of 20 that you think I'll bid on, then you go and get the X-rays checked, and normally that would, you know, they'll have some issues. Thank God ours are good, but that might eliminate 25 to 30% of those off the list because they're high risk. They might have little chips or spurs or OCDs or just little changes in their legs that you know, it's not saying they won't be any good, because, you know, I was going to buy Catchy as a yearling and the vet said it's got issues, it'll never race, and then it comes out and wins a Blue Diamond. So clearly it doesn't mean anything, but what it does do is says, look, there's changes here, and once you start galloping them and working them, it could deteriorate. So it puts you off. So look, some people don't look at X-rays, but, you know, being syndicators, we have to, because we've got to buy solid, sound horses for people. But so that eliminates a few more. So then you get down to a list of, say, 12 or 14 you're going to bid on. And then, of course, you set your price, and sometimes, you know, the opening bid will be higher than what you want to spend, and you're gone. And you've got to wait for the next one, and then you might come home with 4 or 5. Yeah. So everyone's kind of doing the same thing. It's interesting in a sale, though, because there's 700 there, and they will sell 90%. 90% will get sold. There'll be 10% that get passed in for whatever reason. The buyer wants too much, it's a bad X-ray, or it's just not a nice horse, or no one's spotted it. But 90% gets sold. It always amazes me that everyone likes something different. You know,
it's funny. You can eliminate 3/4, but that 90% gets sold. So everyone's got a different opinion.
And every eye's different. And even when we had the 8 trainers here the other day, looking at them, they all saw something different in each horse, didn't they?
I noticed.
There was a couple of trainers that liked one particular horse. There was another trainer that liked a different horse. And then, you know, it's interesting.
Everyone watched them from the side, but the ones that really had a feel for one, you see them get front on.
They want to look at them in front.
Front on, you know, you had an idea that they liked them. Just wanted to check it all out.
But it's an interesting process at the sales. And you know, trainers have to buy horses, because if trainers don't buy horses and syndicators don't buy horses, then they've got nothing to sell, and they've got nothing to race, and they've got to keep their stables full. And with the sales being so strong this year, there's a lot of Victorian trainers that haven't bought. And the big thing about Melbourne is, it's a value sale. The average last year was about 130. I think it'll be around 150 this year. And because probably, I say 80 to 90% of the draft is super Vobis, that's a big carrot now for the Victorian trainers, because, you know, you can pick up that extra 20 grand or 40 grand with Vobis Gold, and, you know, it's like winning 2 races.
Well, it is,
So it's you know, we love it when we win it and we get that money comes in.
Country Maiden's a city win.
So it's a big carrot, Super Vobis. It's been great for the industry, and I think it'll be very strong, and I think we'll go well.
I was listening. Is it Matt Tillett, Woodside Park?
They've got Woodside Park have got an outstanding draft.
I said they could not have had a better weekend last weekend.
Well, they stand Written Tycoon and Zoo Star, and they've got a great draft, as has Gilguy. And Yarraman have come down from New South Wales with a draft, and their draft's outstanding. But, you know, we're not far behind. We'd be certainly in the top 25%.
Yep, which is
and
good.
that's what our aim was, because this is our first go. So we wanted to, we wanted to be there with our best horses and get them sold, and hopefully they go to good trainers, and hopefully they get to racing good races. And then when we turn up with the brothers and sisters next year, hopefully those same trainers that have bought them come back, or they've got to pay a little bit more.
All rolls through. Yeah.
So that's the game.
So good luck to all those owner breeders.
Yes, there's a big team coming down to Inglis next week, and we're going to have a big dinner afterwards.
Most have booked in for the dinner afterwards. So
yeah, so we're looking forward to this, because it's a long process and a lot can go wrong, and it's it's a long, hard process from the date you foal them to the day you sell them. It's 18 months, but if you get the rewards, we've had some great results already with the weanlings, where we've bought mares for 60 grand and sold the foal for 6 months later for 150. So it can be very rewarding.
Yep.
But if the mare doesn't have a live foal, or the foal dies, it's a disaster. But it's like anything, high risk, high reward, hopefully.
Yeah.
But anyway,
all good and
let's
exciting.
leave it all there, and we're going to bring you some vision of the sales next week, and we'll try and do a little bit of a profile on one of the horses we think will sell well, and we'll just follow it through the process and give you a bit of an overview for those who have never been to a sale before. And everyone can go; it's open to the public.
Yep.
But we'll try and give you a little bit of a insight into what goes on.
Like sitting up in a big courtroom, Darren.
You've got to be very careful you don't wave to your friends, Pete.
Oh, no, hands in the pockets.
Hey?
Hands in your pockets.
Roger Gleason and Phil Britton are the worst I've ever been with. G'day! 100 grand!
I think the days of it's not a smoking area, but those smokers used to get caught
Oh,
around.
mate. Yes.
But anyway.
No, you've got to be very careful who you stand next to at the sale, or you
I'm
might
folded.
end up with a horse.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll look forward to it. Anyway, until next week, I'm Darren Dance here with Peter Morganti. Have a great weekend.